Welcome to the apocalypse.
Hi, I'm Lee Hammock. I'm the lead game designer on Fallen Earth, and helping me today is Dave Hadish, who is our assistant project manager. He makes sure we do everything on time, and I try and make the game fun. So our powers combined hopefully make a fun game on time. Basically, this is our game, Fallen Earth. It is a massively multiplayer online game. It's post-apocalyptic in genre, and it's got a general sort of FPS feel to the system. So we're going for hopefully something that hasn't been done a whole lot of so far. The game is set in the Grand Canyon 100 years after the majority of humanity is wiped out by a plague called the Shiva virus. Kills 99% of humanity. Those who survive become horrible mutants. You know, good fun. Like you just got to kill everybody to have the apocalypse, so we figured virus is good. The game takes place actually in the Grand Canyon, and we created the world using a topographical map of the Grand Canyon, so you could actually go into the... If you've actually been to the Grand Canyon, you can actually go in places of the game and say, hey, I've been here. We make small tweaks for gameplay issues, but generally, overall, it is very much the Grand Canyon. The section we're looking at now, since we figured we'll start with the beginning, is character creation. Character creation in Fallen Earth is primarily a cosmetic process. You don't make mechanical decisions about your character, such as race, class, skills, things of that nature, until you've actually played the game for a while. We don't want people to make a choice and then think, oh, if I'd known how the game actually played, I would have never made that choice. We want people to basically make informed decisions on how they're going to play their character. So, starting, you're mainly changing the way you look. You've got different faces, heads, hairstyles, hair colors. Guys have... You always give them the spiky hair.
I like the spiky hair.
Every time, and it's going to be green again, isn't it?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay. You've got 2 levels of facial hair. You've got stubble, then you've got like a mass of hair. You can have women, because facial hair in a woman would be weird, have makeup for like lipstick and eyeshadow. You can set piercings, tattoos, face paint, body tattoos. You can, on a guy, you can actually give yourself body hair. Women get a belly piercing, because again, that would be weird. So we give people a lot of different stuff they can do to customize their characters. What we don't give them to customize is starting clothes. We give them a few selections and shirts and shoes and stuff like that, but not a whole lot, because it's a loot-based system. We want people to get out in the world and replace their gear as quickly as they find gear that's useful. We don't want people to spend an hour getting their outfit figured out in character creation, then the first jacket they find, oh, my outfit's totally thrown off now because I found this jacket that has better stats. So we figured it just wouldn't be a good way to set things up. Also, story-wise, all characters are clones created by a technology created by a corporation called LifeNet. So all of you basically start out wearing the LifeNet jumpsuit that all clones are born with. He's basically going into the tutorial now. The tutorial is a single-player instance, so you can learn how to play the game in the privacy of your own instance without having to look like an idiot in front of everybody else. We want people to feel comfortable making mistakes and running around and just figuring out what's going on. The tutorial takes place inside Hoover Dam. In the collapse of civilization, Hoover Dam was one of the last places to survive after the fall of civilization, because it can generate power for years without any fuel or other... Even if there was no one there, it could run for, I think, 3 or 4 years without breaking down. It's really quite impressive. So it's basically the last source of large-scale electrical power in the world. So it becomes the last bastion of humanity, and lasts for about 100 years until a real despot gets to be put in charge, all these different factions get pissed off, and you have a revolt. So you're basically stuck in the middle of this revolt through the remains of Hoover Dam, trying to get out before you get killed, and figure out what's going on. We basically assume that the player has not read any of the background for a game, has not read any of the lore or anything. We assume they know nothing, and so their character knows nothing. Because most players, they'll boot up the game, they don't read the manual, they just go in, jump, play. So we try and educate the player from the ground up as to what the game is about. Through the tutorial, they get involved with a lot of the background, a lot of the different factions, so they really can figure out everything as they go as opposed to having to stop and read stuff.